was
So it's
written.
it's a NBA NIL deal. What we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Come on, man.
It's illegal. It's illegal, right?
Yo, we don't know that this was used to circumvent the NBA salary cap. We don't know that. All right. What I do know is journalists are haters. Can I just be? This is my biggest takeaway.
Rodney, I have to ask you if you've seen this Kawhi Leonard story. It is making headlines after this secret $28 million job is being reported by the one and only Pablo Torre, who many have called him Sherlock Holmes because he's going to get the story, okay? That Leonard signed this massive endorsement deal with a fraudulent tree plant company called Aspiration. And that was actually funded by Clippers owner Steve Ballmer to circumvent the salary cap rules. This is massive.
It's a good story.
This is a big deal. Yeah. Thoughts?
My thoughts. Okay, out the gate.
Or should we just kind of break it down a little bit more for the viewer?
You tell me. Listen, your hair is looking way more luxurious than mine. I defer to you. I defer to you, my sister.
Okay, well, the CEO of Aspiration, I don't even know what his name is. He got locked up and they filed for bankruptcy. And once that happened, all their business was in the streets. And it was not a secret that they had endorsement deals with big time people like Drake and Robert Downey Jr., to name a few. And so for some, I don't know how Pablo Torre was able to go down and see that. Well, actually, no, I do know. If you look at the paperwork, the largest endorsement deal was for $28 million. And it was to this company that was linked back to Kawhi Leonard reportedly by Pablo Torre. And he kind of showed all the documents. And there was nothing that Kawhi had to do. Normal endorsement deals, you have to post, you got to tweet, you got to do whatever. He didn't have to do anything but be Kawhi and play for the Los Angeles Clippers. That was reportedly in the contract details. And it was almost like it was written up like a basketball contract. He couldn't even be paid by the Clippers and be on another team. He had to be an employee of the Clippers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, the Aspirations contract.
Yeah. So it's an NBA NIL deal. What we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Come on, man.
It's illegal. It's illegal, right?
Yo, we don't know that this was used to circumvent the NBA salary cap. We don't know that. All right. What I do know is journalists are haters. Can I just be? This is my biggest takeaway. Yo, journalists are haters, bro. Pablo Torre, get a life, my boy. Okay, let me have my 28 million in peace. Like this is top flight hateration.
He cannot do that.
I'm joking, kinda.
Okay, because I'm like, kinda. What?
Kinda. Now, I don't know if you recall a couple of years ago when Kawhi Leonard was in free agency after winning a championship in Toronto, and there were a lot of conversations about the way his uncle was handling his free agency, right? They were saying his uncle was asking for things that are outside of the usual realm of the NBA contract. They were asking for the ability to use private jets and all of these things. So the idea that Kawhi Leonard, of all people, would be involved in this kind of outside the lines business deal is not like the biggest shock to me, but, and I'm going to assume this. Well, you know what? I was going to say I would assume that the paperwork would be smart enough and cover things up enough to be able to throw people off at a cent, right? Like I would imagine.
Though, Rodney.
So hold
Think
on.
about it.
It didn't though, because the shell company
it
that Kawhi Leonard was using was called KL2, Kawhi Leonard, jersey number 2.
Aspirations. Yes.
Yeah, so that's not the best shell company name. If you want to hide some money, you got to go deep. I used to watch a show called Billions, and so indirectly, I learned some financial fraud. Yeah. Not that I do it, but I learned about it. And so I feel like there should have been somebody else in the equation to help cover this thing up a little bit more. And you certainly never want to name your company after your initials and your name.
No, that is true. But it worked until it didn't, right? Because like you just mentioned, when he was a free agent and he signed with the Clippers, everybody was like, why are you signing with the Clippers? Of all teams, like it made owners around the league question it so much that the league actually did an investigation and didn't find anything.
Okay.
So it worked until Aspirations started frauding people.
Well, they
Then
filed
once
for
they got into
bankruptcy. They filed for bankruptcy.
right, because the dude was found that he had frauded people out of like $150 million or something like that.
So then how do we know that
That is
Kawhi Leonard wasn't frauded? How do we know that Kawhi Leonard wasn't promised the opportunity to use his likeness to help grow this brand and he was never given actual work
because
to do, and
in
he's
his
upset about that?
contract, no,
Well,
because in his contract, he didn't have to do anything, Rodney. All he had to do was be a member of the Los Angeles Clippers, and their owner, who is one of the richest in the world, okay, put in $50 million into this company. It's money laundering is what it is.
whoa, that's a
And
big
it's
accusation.
illegal.
Allegedly, we can't say that definitively.
Allegedly.
There may
But
be
that's
some.
what it's giving. That's
Okay,
what it's
well,
giving. That's what it looks
listen,
like.
at this level, okay, I should be able to make money on top of the money that I make just because of who I am. And in Los Angeles, we have incredibly high taxes. And so really, this $28 million ain't nothing but a way for Kawhi to cover what's coming out of his NBA contract that's taxable. So
But don't they
I'm
have
not.
luxury taxes for that reason?
No, that's not what a luxury tax is. Luxury tax actually takes more money away from people and players. There's, I don't know. There's also an athlete tax. I don't know if you're aware of this. So because athletes play in all these different states, they are taxed in every single state they have a game in. So,
I do know that.
Yeah, so this may just be a way to buffer the loss of that income because of the additional taxes that these athletes have to pay. I don't,
Okay,
you
so
know what? I'm just not
saying,
mad.
Rodney,
I'm just not mad at this.
So shouldn't the owners get together and have had conversations about this up until this point? Shouldn't they have had a meeting to say, okay, my players that live in bigger markets? That's what I thought that they had, but
Hold
I guess
on.
not.
I'm bugging right now. What is so wrong about this? There are tons of people who come out and say, yo, if you go to the New York Knicks, your advertising and marketing and branding deals are going to go through the roof. There are certain markets that by virtue of being in them, they just generate additional revenue and income for you. It doesn't matter like the fact that maybe this company happened to be bullshit. The fact of the matter is when you play in a marquee city like Los Angeles, like New York, maybe Boston, not Chicago, they haven't had a superstar in a long time, and maybe even a Miami, right? Like that does come with additional attachments. That's just what it is. Now, it might not be $28 million. It might be entry into a club of some sort. There are a number of different things, a number of different benefits that you get from playing in a city like Los Angeles. So I'm not mad that Kawhi's isn't something a service, but what is monetary. I'm not mad at that at all.
See, the issue is nobody has an issue with marketing deals, brand deals. We see it all the time. Like you just mentioned, NIL, we see it in college. However, it cannot come from the owner himself. That is where the blinds get blurred because that was an incentive, Rodney. That was an incentive now paperwork in his contract.
If you find me some paperwork that says that Steve Ballmer is definitively involved in this company, then I'll change my position.
Pablo, did you watch the Pablo Torre?
It was too damn long because I don't watch hater content like that.
Well, in the documents, he went and filed a FOIA request and got all of the bank documents from this bankruptcy. Right. Mm-hmm. And there is from Steve Ballmer $50 million that he invested into this company.
But then Pablo Torre, if you're this good, then why don't you go find all of the funds that funnel through our government? Right? Like you want to.
He's a sports investigator.
It don't matter if you this good, bro. You wasting your talents. Okay, save America. So I don't want to hear that. At the end of the day, money gets filtered through certain institutions for the opportunity to invest in certain people. That is what happens. That's as American as apple pie. What are we talking about here?
However, it's against the rules, Rodney. I'm not saying that you're right or wrong. What I'm saying is that according to NBA bylaws and guidelines, that is against league policy. And so something's about to happen.
I don't
I'm
think
serious.
anything is about to happen. I think if Steve Ballmer is as smart as he says he is, as I believe he is, excuse me, he never said he was smart. You know what I'm saying? He do be looking like a big red tomato watching games. But if Steve Ballmer is as smart as I believe he is, and he is a billionaire with access to all of the people who have all the financial information in the world to cover their tracks for any alleged crimes that may be committed, I'm of the utmost belief that this will inevitably be swept under the rug. Not even just because they didn't do anything wrong, but also because the NBA has so much, the NBA and the Olympics have so much vested interest in that stadium that Steve Ballmer recently opened, that arena that Steve Ballmer recently opened. So what are you going to penalize me? You're not going to take away the All-Star game. You're not going to take away
So
any of the
I
activities.
actually screenshotted what would happen. So according to the league,
Okay.
Adam Silver says
They're
that
not
there
gonna make
is a
them sell.
threat of suspension for executives was openly discussed. I guess they had some sort of meeting previously about what would happen if they found this out. And was the potential for a loss of draft picks or even the voiding of player contracts as the most extreme measures.
Okay, you lose a couple drafts. They'll be fine. This is a slap on the wrist. You know what I mean? I know because we broke in comparison. $28 million at this level doesn't really mean much. You know what I'm saying? This is like $20,000 for them. And so if I lose $20,000, but I also retain the rights to one of the greatest small forwards in NBA history, that's a win-win for me, right? He needed to have a superstar attached to the Clippers as he opened up this new arena. So if this is the penalty, if this is the cost of doing business, if this is the cost of creating an energy around all this newness that I'm trying to instill into the Clippers, they did a whole rebrand, new logos, all of that stuff, then this is worth it. This is a worthwhile investment. And if you caught me being sneaky, I got my hand in the cookie jar, give me my little papow, let me go on about my day. What do you want me to be like? No, this is egregious. We all know that people benefit. Yeah, like people benefit from the work that they put in.
How often? Right.
It happens. It happens all the time.
Exactly.
Like, it happens all the time.
How often is this happening? And what does now the league need to do to be better at finding this out? Because
you know what the league needs to do?
What?
Get Pablo Torre fired.
No, they need to hire him.
No. Okay. Okay. I'm not mad at that. You bring him inside. That way you shut him up. You put him on payroll. You know, Pablo was fired from ESPN a while ago. You bring in Pablo and you say, hey, you shut your ass up. Every 6 months, you drop an article about something that don't got nothing to do with our business, whatever. But at the end of the day, yes, this does happen a lot of places. I ain't putting no names on the bullet, but I've heard about these kinds of things for years. Michael Jordan was criminally underpaid by virtue of his NBA contract. But do you think that Michael Jordan wasn't being a beneficiary of all of his greatness while in the city like Chicago from entities that had team affiliations? Of course he was. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think there's LeBron is an ecosystem unto itself. He's an economy unto itself. When he comes to Los Angeles and he generates all of this money, all of this revenue, you don't think that he's getting a piece of that somewhere else? Like, this is what happens when you are a certain level of superstar. This is what you're entitled to do. This, when you move the needle like this, like a Kawhi Leonard, you put a team in contention for a championship every single year that you're healthy, assuming you have health. Then yeah, that does come with additional benefits that some of y'all just ain't gonna be able to understand because you ain't as great as me. And I think that greatness, in addition to hard work, in addition to extra investment of time and time away from family and all of those things, that level of greatness also generates additional benefits that these people get to cash in on. And I'm not mad because I'm not a hater like Pablo Torre.
He's not a hater. He's just saying what
he's a damn good journalist.
According to and what it's according to NBA rules and regulations, it's illegal.
Let me ask you a question.
Let
me ask you, you know what I'm saying? I just want to see how you fall. If you saw let's say you got a homeboy, right? And it's your homeboy.
Okay.
And you know he's in a relationship and you saw his girl somewhere kikiing with another guy.
No.
Are you telling your homeboy? No?
No, I'm saying no, I'm not answering this. Next.
What? What?
Next.
Well, that's how I feel about Pablo Torre. Mind your business.
I'm not answering that question.
All right, bet. Well, thank you for your time. And you look really beautiful today too, man. Let me go ahead and give you a compliment. Let me just acknowledge it. Yeah, your hair is shining. You're glossing. The beat is amazing. You look good, man.
I will say, don't dye your hair, ladies. It will fall out.
Okay.
Don't do it.
All right. Well, y'all let us know your thoughts on Kawhi Leonard's. Well, y'all let us know your thoughts on what's taking place with Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers. Do you think that it is out of bounds for a player to receive outside compensation for his team affiliation? This is an interesting conversation. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section, man.
And please go click on that link in our description box for our newsletter. We have all of the latest in sports happening. You know, Rodney and I just did a great episode yesterday about college football week 1. Go check that out. It's in the link in our description box.